How's it going, everyone? How's it going? I just made a video on Ipoe, and I made it right when there were just rumors of it taking SoFi public, and now it looks like this is actually happening. It's official. So I want to go over that. I need to do one thing first. So I'm gonna let people filter in a little bit here. It looks like we haven't gotten that many people yet, but if you guys don't mind just sitting here for 1 second, hit the like button. I really appreciate that. I just need to do one thing real quick. All right, so forgot to turn the lights on here. Let's take a look. I want to know, before we get into it, before we get into the details of the transaction, because again, I just posted on this. This probably isn't the best thing for me to do right after I post a real video, is to go live about the same stock. So if you guys want to help out, you can go check out that other video after this. But we're gonna go over Ipoe and their transaction with SoFi. So I was lucky enough to see this really early on. Our Discord and our Patreon kind of pointed it out too, and I got in when it was $14.95. I picked up some shares then. Now it's halted again. It went up, I think, to almost $17.50 or no, $17.91. It looks like. Just looking at my phone here, looking at the chart, it's halted now. Do you guys know when it unlocks? Because I want to know about that, or when it stopped, when you can actually trade it. But I want to go over the transactions. I'll just say hi to everyone. Everyone's saying, hey, how's it going? So the news on CleanSpark, I'll talk about that probably in a video later. But they had some news on their website. So they went up 30% yesterday, 17% or something today, last time I looked. So it's Ipoe, the company that we're looking at. We're going to take a look. Let's go over there. So I talked about them when there's just rumors of it. So there's kind of a leak or something like that. And I covered it as soon as I could. I actually talked to my Patreon group about it. As soon as it happened, we were able to buy in, at least a good majority of us, because we were in that window about 20 minutes after where it was unhalted for a little while, because it did halt for a little bit. But the news came out. Chamath came on CNBC, I believe, and announced that it was breaking news. And I don't know. I think that happened after the stock was halted again, because it went up, it was halted, it came back down, we picked up shares, it went back up, and now it's halted. But the transaction values SoFi at an equity value of $8.6 billion post-money, and is expected to provide up to $2.4 billion in cash proceeds, including a fully committed pipe of $1.2 billion and up to $805 million of cash held in trust account for Ipoe, in addition to a previous anchor investment from funds and accounts advised by T. Rowe Price Associates that closed at the end of this last year. Now, you guys can follow this. This is on Yahoo News if you want to check it out. The pipe is being led by Chamath, founder and CEO of SCH, and Hedos Sophia, who are together contributing $275 million. Top-tier institutional investors comprise the remaining $950 million of the pipe, including funds and accounts managed by BlackRock, Altimeter Capital Management, Barron Capital Group, Cout Management, Durable Capital Partners, and Healthcare of Ontario Pension Plan. So they are a next-generation financial services platform. They have entered into the definitive agreements with Ipoe. So right now, the company has a decent amount of revenue. I believe I found it before. They released some information on the company on Chamath's Twitter. So they basically made one page. There's going to be a call at 1 p.m. So let me know in the comments if anyone can get on those. I haven't seen if I could get like on the CNBC live on my computer or anything like that. But let's take a look. They're basically saying in the summary that a lot of the great older banks are kind of being phased out, especially the ones that have outdated practices. It's less profitable in some ways than it used to be for investments, because they don't charge you for trading. They break that down for a little bit, but now Fintech companies are low fees. They're very transparent. You can rate shop, stuff like that. And now they're saying SoFi has built a suite of best-in-class digital solutions to help consumers get their money right. They say. More than 56,000 rankings in the App Store, average 4.8 stars. 1.8 million unique members in 2020, expected to grow 3 million unique members, or to 3 million unique members in 2021. So they're expecting a decent amount of increase there. Their expected net revenues, or their expected adjusted net revenues for 2021 is 980 million. They're able to do 621 million in 2020. So they're expecting about 50% increase in revenue, adjusted net revenue next year. And they're expecting a 5-year compounded annual growth rate of about 43%. They're expecting by 2025, $3.67 billion worth of adjusted revenue. They're also expecting adjusted EBITDA margins approaching 32% by 2025. They're expecting about 1.17 billion in EBITDA, adjusted EBITDA by 2025. Right now, they're trading at 1.8x 2025 expected revenues. I think this is a little bit cheap right now. I mean, these fintech companies are scaling very quickly. This is why you have to, it's difficult. So you have to be kind of dialed in, it seems like these days, because news hits so quickly. And the thing about this one is, so anyone that doesn't know, it was halted a couple times. Like I said, it was halted because it was moving too quickly. I haven't seen a lot of SPACs, and correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen a lot of SPACs that have been halted like this on news. The other thing that's interesting is you can take a look at the charts for IPOE. It went up a lot. Around the same time, the stocks or the shares of these other SPACs from Chamath, these other stocks that are like IPO, I think it was IPOD, IPOF, both of those jumped up a lot right when that happened. So if you want to take a look at the charts now, you can see they went up like 5%, and they had no news. It's just that IPOE was merging. And I've done a video on this before. I did a video on like the best SPAC strategy and how I thought it might just be to invest in all of Chamath's different SPACs. And of course, that's not financial advice or anything, but he's had a couple really good SPACs so far. And one is SPCE stock, also known as I'm blanking here, sorry. But it's SPCE, a big stock this year and last year, blown up this year. We also have IPOB, which is Open Door. We've had a lot of his SPACs that have gone up. We also have another one that is merging. I forgot who they're merging with, but I believe they had some big news kind of earlier this year. So Virgin Galactic is SPCE. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But there's another one, IPOC, that I think merged recently. And that one is, I believe, a dividend payer they were talking about. So they've had some good stocks this year. They've had some good mergers. So the thing is, a lot of people have a lot of confidence in Chamath, and a lot of people are trying to get into the next fintech. I mean, we've seen companies like BFT kind of blow up too. That one's a little bit different. That one's payment processing. But all these companies, all these fintech companies are growing very quickly, and they're jumping up. They're gaining revenues and gaining users very quickly because a lot of them are willing to have large loss leaders and are willing to throw money at new users like crazy. I mean, think about WeBull. How many people talk about WeBull? How many people sign up for WeBull? Hundreds of people sign up from creators all the time. I mean, I don't know if I can tell you how many I have sign up, but I have a lot of people sign up for WeBull, and it grows every month. And I would think that it slows down, but it hasn't yet. So you would think that, oh, no one actually signs up for WeBull or SoFi anymore. People sign up all the time. So let's take a look at some of the questions for people. BNGL price target, that's hard to guess. Could go up a lot. It could go down. Never know with that one. Okay, so some people are saying it will take 15 minutes for IPOE to go back live, but I don't think that's the case because it's been halted for a while here. I think it's been halted for over an hour, like an hour and a half, at least from what I can tell. I don't know why that is. One thing that can happen is a company can actually request, as I understand it, the companies can request for trading to be halted. So I wonder if that's why, because usually, at least from what I remember, when stocks are halted, like the first time it was 5 minutes that was halted or something like that. Usually it increases a little bit, but I don't think it goes from 5 minutes to an hour and a half like that. I wonder if they halted it. That would be interesting to see. So let's see. They just finished the IPOE news conference. Interesting. What did they say? What's my price target for IPOE? I'm not sure right now. Honestly, I made a video on it. I bought the stock. I told my Patreon. I made a video on it pretty quickly. I still have more thinking to do because, I mean, this is a growth stock, so it's hard to price these correctly, but it's growing very quickly. And I think there's a lot of people that want to get into fintech, especially when you look at some of the companies that have blown up this year. And not that they're super stable. I mean, every stock can go down, but they're cash cows when they get bigger. I mean, people think that Square and PayPal are very safe, so people are willing to put in a lot of money. And like every single transaction you use on a credit card pays a credit card company. When you think about some of those other credit card companies too. So a lot of people are willing to invest in these because there's just so much money that is going into them, and it is a little bit safer than some other kinds of stocks usually. Okay. What do I think about VGAC stock? I own it. I own some of it, but I don't think they've announced who they're merging with yet. Can you let us know how much you invest in IPOE? So I tell my Patreon members how much I invest in everything. I'll tell you a percentage. Let me just of my total portfolio. So keep in mind, I don't sell stocks really. I mean, I've sold a couple stocks, but they were companies I didn't have much money in. So keep in mind, everything that I buy is coming from my income. So I have to be careful about not investing too much at a time because it's not like I'm just jumping in and out of stocks. I have to make the money to then invest in the stock. So let me see how much I bought here in accordance to my total portfolio. So I bought just under 1% of my total portfolio. Now, keep in mind, I've been adding to my portfolio a lot. So it's not like a huge amount of money, but it's enough that like I definitely don't want to lose it. And it was something, again, I'm not selling or trading stocks. I keep money, or I keep cash on the sidelines, but that's mostly because I'm saving up to buy a house. So I'm trying to keep that money separate and trying not to invest every single day. So it was probably like, if I had to rate my buys from a scale of 1 to 10, like on size of my normal buys, I'd say it's about a 4 or a 5. It's definitely not the biggest buy that I've had in the last few days, I would say, but it's a lot more than I throw like at penny stocks. Okay. Looks like Trevor is in here. Trevor Hassel. Nice to see you, man. Good to have you in here. Okay, Deluxe, you're 16 and you're new to trading. I tried putting a put option for BABA since I knew it would plummet today. The order wasn't going through, so I canceled. Is this dumb? No, I don't think it's necessarily dumb. I'll be honest. I don't trade options at all. But, some people do. Some people find some or get some good profit from it. Rolex, nice to see you. Thanks for saying hey. Okay. $20 to $30 by merger date, in your opinion. Alex Bigham. Nice. I like that. I would like that. I could deal with that. I think too, when it opens back up, it's gonna probably jump. A lot of how many people watch CNBC that saw that and maybe saw it after we saw it? I mean, again, I'm gonna plug the Patreon now because again, we have people in there that are talking about stocks like this all the time. I told them about it. Let's see when I told them about it. When I told them that I bought it. So we bought right in between the two halts. We bought at before 11, like 10:52, looks like. So, or 10:57. So yeah, we were in there early, but if you guys want that, you can. Don't feel like you have to. I update YouTube as quickly as I can too. What's my primary source of income? It's YouTube. I was working as a retail personal banker, but I jumped out of that because YouTube was doing so well and I wanted to focus more on it. And yeah, I did sell Workhorse for the people that are talking about that. Yeah, I saw Workhorse was up, but it traded sideways for a while. So I put that money in other places and I've done really well on it. So I'm not sad that I sold it or anything. I want to see them actually increase production before I would buy in. Okay. What do I think about CLA stock? I haven't looked at it in a long time, honestly, because I don't hold it. So I don't keep up on it that much. What's my thought on Jumia? I don't hold that one either. So I don't keep up on those as much. Okay, it's open. It's open. Did someone say it's open? Let's see. Oh man, jumped up to almost $18 right off the bat. It opened at just now, it looks like. Man, okay, it's running up a little bit. I like it. And they're supposed to be on CNBC, I believe, around 1. So Chamath, I think, said that he was going to jump on a call then. So, man, I like it. We're up, what is that, 30%? Yeah, 20%. We're up 20% in an hour and a half. I like it. All right. What are my thoughts on Hyliion? I like their business model. They still have a lot of scaling though. Well, I say I like it. I like what they do. I think it can be good, but the thing is they need to make an electric vehicle because I think eventually down the line, people are going to turn away from gas powered in general. So they're not going to be able to convert them over to the hybrid options as much. It was 19. Oh, it was $19 now, $17.95. Interesting. Let's take a look. Update it. Yeah, it's sitting right around $18 now. Probably jumped up right to 19. Then some people sold or put sell orders or something. What's the SoFi value? Hard to tell at this point. I mean, they have what they are paying for it and their valuation. But the thing is, it's hard to value these growth companies. So it's hard to tell. What's my recommended sell price on Ipoe? Honestly, it's so hard to tell where these are going right after news is announced. Like this could hit 30 today. I'm not saying that it will. I'm not saying that that's likely, but it could hit 30 today. So I try not to sell the specs like right after I buy them because I think they do run up usually for a little while. They're very volatile though. But I think with the price I got in it, I'm probably not going to sell it real soon. But I'll let you guys know if I do eventually. So I did just talk about Hyliion a little bit. I've not looked at ISR. What do I think about ZOM? I don't know. It's pretty risky. Can I talk about CLSK? Sure. So I plan on probably doing an update video on it. It went up 50% since the videos we did on it a few days ago. And I'd been buying before that. I'm up over 100% on some of my shares of it. But Bitcoin mining and Grid, they also Energy Grid company, they're raising expectations, but not high enough in my opinion. I don't think they're raising their revenue expectations high enough. So I think that they're going to beat revenue significantly. I mean, let's take a look at Bitcoin. So they were able to mine 31 Bitcoin in 3 weeks. So the cost of Bitcoin right now has gone up dramatically. I need to put in Bitcoin price here. It's almost at 40,000. It's going insane. I mean, take a look at the charts for Bitcoin. Just today, it's up 7.5%. On the 5-day, it's up 23%. On the month, it's up 92%. On the year, it's up 350. On the 5-year, it's up over 8,100%. So Bitcoin keeps on running up. The profitability of CLSK keeps on moving up. They keep on making more and more money, becoming more and more profitable as Bitcoin moves up. Right now, if they're mining $1.2 million, if I have that right. So 31 Bitcoin times 40,000, let's say that's 1.2 million worth of Bitcoin every 3 weeks. That's $17 million worth, I believe, over the year. Let's assume that Bitcoin keeps moving up. I mean, not maybe this exponentially, but let's say it hits 50K. And they're also talking about being able to ramp up production, possibly 1.5x, because they're increasing their mining capacity. I also sent in a message or an email to the investor relations person at CLSK to try to get an idea of what they're trying to do in the future. Are they going to keep on trying to scale up? Because the thing is, right now it makes sense, in my opinion, and I wanted to get his opinion on this, to scale up as much as possible. Like freaking dilute shares and throw more money at Bitcoin mining. That's just my opinion. Because it is so profitable, the share price would come down a little bit, but I think it would go right back up pretty soon thereafter, especially if Bitcoin keeps moving up. So, or just, take out some loans, whatever you have to do, acquire another Bitcoin mining company. I don't know. But Bitcoin mining companies now are probably moving up in value too. So anyways, they're becoming more and more profitable. And the news that came out recently, they put it on their website. You can check it out. They started a project in California for a large house that they're going to use their technology on to help increase their efficiency. That seems interesting to me because they are getting into. I just realized my mic's way over here. Could you guys hear me very well that whole time? But they're moving into more residential stuff too. So that's really interesting to me, and I like where it's going. If they're able to work with people in California that have a lot of money and possibly scale up that way, getting into the retail market a little bit more, I think that could be an interesting avenue for them. How about IPOC? They're going to change the symbol tomorrow. Interesting. What do I think about BFT? I'm still holding my BFT, to be clear. Let's take a look at IPOE. Now it's at $19. So people are wondering when to get in. Well, honestly, so I already bought in, as some of you know, because you've been here for a bit on the stream. Now it's at $20. I think if you're trying to get in, this is what I say about every single stock. If you knew about all the information you knew about, like before it jumped, I would say probably don't buy in now. But if you got some new information that informs your decision a little bit better, then go for it. If you feel comfortable, the thing is, if you are buying in now after it's gone up, like even from $18 to $20, it went up 10%. Sometimes you'll wait a little bit just to see if it's going to go up or not. But if you're waiting too long and you know all the information, then you're really just buying because you see it moving up. But the thing is, are you going to have that same conviction then if it starts falling down? Are you going to be able to hold on to it when it starts falling down? Or are you going to sell it off because you bought high or something? Now, if you learn something about the company, then maybe you still have a high conviction and you're willing to hold on to it, even if it goes up and down and everything like that. So I would just be careful. I mean, I personally, if let's say there's no emotion in it at all, I probably would buy this right now because I think it's going to move up. But there's some risk buying it when it's up so much so quickly. There could be some people that sell off. I mean, just at, let's say 10:30 this morning is at $12.11. Now it's up 66%. So I bought some shares at under 15 between when it was halted. That's why it's really important to stay kind of plugged in. 19,999,999. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I like the name. Makes it a little bit hard to give you a shout out, but when am I selling IPOE? So with any of these stocks, I guess there are two different things I do. If it's a really speculative stock, like a penny stock, and I see it moving up, I see some potential catalyst, sometimes I buy and try to sell quickly if it moves up really quickly. But usually with these bigger companies, I buy and I try to hold on to it. I try to, I don't sell stocks very often. The thing is, though, if it goes up so much that it's just stupid valued, and people sometimes do that, then I might be willing to sell part of it. The exception would be like the Teslas of the world. Companies like that, they move up so much. I haven't sold really much Tesla. I sold 10% at one point and I regretted it after that. So I don't plan on selling it at this point unless it gets up to a stupid level. Like if it passed $50 in the next few days, I probably sell it. Now I'm not saying that I won't sell it for some other reason, but I usually don't sell just because a company is getting to very high valuations. And don't quote me on that because, you know, I still want to have my options open to sell if that comes up. But yeah. And then DM is making you a millionaire. I love it. That's awesome. I'm glad that it's doing well for you. Steven, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it, man. Your Patreon was on this play early? Question mark. Yeah, Ricardo. I sent out a message. I don't send messages to like the community tab on stocks I'm buying because I don't want to. I don't want to spam people. Like people watch YouTube because they're videos. I don't want to spam people with different stocks I'm buying all the time. And I'm careful about that. But I told my Patreon like 15 minutes after there were rumors of it. It was before it was officially announced. And then I bought in about 10 minutes, I want to say. I think I bought in 10 minutes after there were rumors, actually 8 minutes after there were rumors on it. I forgot how I found out about it, but I bought in like 8 minutes after. It was at pretty much the lowest peak after it jumped up. It was at $14.95 was my cost basis. So yeah. So I mean, that's why I do like the Patreon. It's a lot quicker than everything else. Snazzy, you like the live streams? You're always on time. I appreciate that. Am I still holding APXT? No, I'm not. I actually sold it a while ago. I actually made a video about it. Oh, Bod, thank you for the donation. After your video about BNGO, do you think they will do $10 to $15 after January 11 through 15? So I'm not sure exactly what video you're talking about. I did an update video on BNGO yesterday, like late last night, because Dead Inside, another YouTuber, actually talked with someone that is really knowledgeable in the field. And it made me a little bit less bullish on BNGO, honestly. However, I take it with a grain of salt. This is what I am doing, and this is what I've been saying that I will do. I was lucky enough to get in really early. Again, another shout out to Patreon. People were talking about it like at $1. I bought it at $1.25. And what I plan on doing is there's so many potential catalysts moving forward. I'm not going to sell out just because someone at ARK Invest kind of said, okay, there's potential in this, but it's not used in every single circumstance. It's kind of niche. So I'm not going to sell out just because someone at ARK Invest said that, you know, it's not the same thing as PB. And you can check out my video if you guys want to understand what I'm saying more, because I think I did a much better job of explaining it then. But I'm also going to keep a much closer eye on it. And I'll probably, so what I've been saying I'll do is I'll sell if it goes at double my cost basis. So if it goes down to $2.50, I'll sell out. If it goes up dramatically, I'll probably hold out. If it goes up to a stupid amount, though, then I'll sell a little bit. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Now, that might change, but that's what I've been thinking about. So someone says halted. Was IPOE halted again? Let's see. I can see on my phone, I guess. But I mean, could definitely be the case. Oh no, it looks like it's still going. $20.15 right now. Up 66% of the day. Not bad, not bad. Jay, appreciate it, man. Thank you for the donation. Or Javier, sorry, it came up as Jay right away. Goal. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. Halt gone. Yep, halt is gone. Let's see. Unhalted. Yep. Darth Lord, why do I keep on ignoring your super chats? I don't think you super chatted or anything. I just go by, was it donations or whatever? Whenever they pop up here, I talk about them. Any work of IPOF? I haven't looked into that one so much. I was reading an article earlier though about some different stocks that Chamath is working on right now, and it kind of broke down. I didn't really realize maybe I'll try to pull it up here. I didn't realize that the different stocks or the different companies, the different SPACs that Chamath has, they have different people from like really large companies that are helping with them. So I'll see if I can pull it up here because it'll make a lot more sense. Like they have heads of Facebook or heads of something else, like leading some of their companies. So I'll see if I can find that. It's kind of hard to do while I'm talking, but I'll see if I can find that because I think that would be useful for some people because it gives a little bit more information on the companies. Let's see. I think I might have it here. Okay, so for example, this is on Benzinga. Well, I'll just post it in chat right now, and then I'll talk you through it here for a second. So I'm not going to be able to see the super chats for a second here because I'm flipping over. Maybe that's what happened before. If you have a really short super chat, it only shows up depending on how much money you donate. It only shows up for a certain amount of time. So I might have been on a different page. So I apologize for that if I was. But let's see. So they say IPOD is Nirav Tolia, the former CEO, or the additional team member of IPOD is Nirav Tolia, the former CEO and co-founder of Nextdoor. He helped the company raise $250 million at a $1.5 billion valuation. He also worked at Benchmark and Shopping.com. Okay, the next one, they say for IPOE, the extra team member on this SPAC is Jay Parikh, the former head of engineering at Facebook. This is the company that we're talking about, right? This is the one that is merging with SoFi. Parikh held the position for 6 years and also held the role of VP of infrastructure at the company for several years. Parikh also worked for Ning Inc. and Akami Technologies. He serves on the board of directors at Atlassian Corporation. And then it talks about how much money the company raised. And then IPOF, I believe it's the sixth company, has the former CEO of Twitter, which is Richard Costello. Sorry, apparently I'm not very good at pronouncing random people's names. Maybe it's because 1,000 people are trying to see me pronounce these names. He was also the founder of FeedBurner, which was acquired by Google in 2007. So that's kind of interesting. Again, I posted that. It's on Benzinga. It's under Chamath, IPOD, IPOE, IPOF, SPACs, what investors should know. And that was from December 22. So you can check that out if you want to see more information on it. I did post it, though, in the chat. At least it should have posted. So, yeah, definitely interesting. You can see that depending on what company you're looking at, they all have different like extra employees. It was halted again? Interesting. Okay, let's pull it up here, see what it's doing. I don't see mine halted, though. It says 1940. So maybe you're talking about it being halted the last time or something. What do I think about Jags? So I actually have talked about that. Stop copying Denside. I don't think I'm copying him. I mean, I think with anything, it would be stupid if I didn't talk about a stock just because someone else is talking about it. Like, if Warren Buffett didn't buy Coke because some other investor was buying it, where would he be now 50 years later? So that's kind of my thinking. I never stop talking about a stock because someone else is talking about it. And I'm not gonna take away information that should be spread to the public because someone else reported it. Like Denside talked to the person from ARK Invest. I'm not gonna not talk about that. It's public information now. So I'm definitely gonna cover it if I think it's relevant. Any news on FUSE? I don't see anything on them. The thing is, some people thought FUSE would be acquiring SoFi. Now, I said in my video that some people were talking about that, but I didn't see that as a possibility, or very likely at least, for the fact that SoFi is so much larger than the targets they were looking to acquire. So what else? Zamde is coming up. Interesting. I've not covered that one before. Can anyone give an actual good price target? That one's tough. Price target's tough. Graham, appreciate it. Can I make a video on how I plan for taxes? Maybe include something about what to do if you swing trade a little. Also, since that would be 20% tax. So I'm not a tax professional, just first of all, just off the bat, so everyone knows that. So, talk to your accountant or a tax professional on this. And it's different for each country. So I have about 50% US viewership. So I probably won't make a video on it. However, there are a couple ways that I believe you can get around this. First of all, you can do it in a tax advantaged account. So I believe if you're in an IRA or if you're in a 401k, you don't have to pay taxes on that. As long as you keep the money in there, then it's fine. The thing is, if you're doing it in a brokerage account, then you do get taxed, and I think it's more than 20%. So you say that it can be taxed at 20%. I think it's a lot more than that because I think it goes to your income bracket. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I understand as of now. So yeah, if you want to take advantage and not have to pay as much taxes, try to get in something tax advantaged. But talk to an accountant about that. Sean, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Let me scroll to your comment. Thoughts on check cap and 9 meters biohazard. So I'll be honest. So I bought, what was that? I bought check. I sold check. I sold it because it was just very volatile and I was getting too many penny stocks. I had like 3 or 4 at the time. So I sold it. I think it could be good long term though. I'm not saying that it couldn't. 9 meters biopharma. I'm going to hold it a while. I think it has potential. The thing is, these are really risky. The other thing that I notice is I think my channel, and I was thinking about whether to even mention this. My channel's getting to the size where when I talk about stocks, it sometimes pushes the value up. So I think I need to be careful about not like when you're an individual investor, you can buy and sell in the same day and it's fine. But I want to be careful because I think some people blindly go put money wherever I talk about. So, or whatever stocks I talk about, especially if it's a penny stock. So I have to be careful about selling the same day, I think. So I'm more careful on that than I was. I'm not going to be like selling and buying in the same day necessarily if I talk about it, I think. So that's kind of my thought on it now, Sean. It could go up a lot, but it's also risky. Do I ever plan on taking a vacation? Yeah. It's funny you say that. One of my friends talked about going to Florida. I'm like, yeah, I think I can make that work. It's several months from now, but I might have to jump in and do a couple hours just because I don't want to lose momentum. Looks like Carl, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. What's my price target on SoFi? Okay, so I mentioned this before. It's very hard to value because it is a growth stock. It's so new, but since you donate, let's see if I can throw a number at it. So I'm just going to pull up how much they had in revenue this year. They're trading at 6.7x 2021 expected revenue. I think they're probably lowballing this. I think most of these companies do, especially right when they come out. Maybe they're doing it correctly now, but a lot of the time companies will lowball it a little bit just so they can beat expectations. But you have to be careful about that. So anyways, almost $1 billion worth of revenue this year. Their value was right around 8 billion or 8.5 billion. Now it's being pushed up because the stock has gone up so much. Price target. So I think right now things aren't trading based on fundamentals, honestly, especially with SPACs. Like things just don't trade at fundamentals. So I could see it going up to 25 or 30 just based on hype over the next few days. However, let's see. If it goes up to 30, if I'm doing my math right, that would be a $25 billion valuation because at least how I understand it is when they say it's valued as a certain number, that's based on the $10 share price. So if it goes up to 30, it essentially triples the value that people are putting on it because that's what's actually publicly traded. So $25 billion. That would be pretty expensive. I mean, that's 25x sales, the 25 price to sales ratio. So I think it could go up that high. The thing is, they're going to have to continue to grow. But I would be looking probably for 25 to 30 if I had to put a price tag on it. But it could go down below that too. I'm not saying that it will necessarily go that high. Darth Lord, I'm not trying to ignore your super chats or anything. Like I see other people's. I don't see yours though at all. I don't know why it's not doing anything or showing up. I apologize if you are super chatting. Stock manipulation. Someone saying that. Would who would still buy an IPOE? Good question. So should you self-use? No, I mean you can do whatever you want. I am not selling it though because I didn't think they were going to merge with SoFi in the first place. I think they might merge with BlockFi, but I don't know that for a fact. Alex Bigham, SoFi $80 price target in 1 year. Yeah, it could be. I'm always cautious on my price targets. I usually hit below because like you throw on a price target, like some analyst says that SoFi should go up to $40. Uh, it could go up to $40 in 2 days. I mean, we saw that with Fubo. We've seen that with other companies too. Some analysts throw a high expectation and it takes a day for it to get up there. And then they have to update their expectations. Okay, let's see. Bitcoin hit 40K. Holy smokas, as someone says. Yeah, holy smokas. That ain't no joker. 40,000. Man, CLSK is looking good now. Let's see what CLSK is doing. Deluxe, any advice on how to stay disciplined with exercise? So for anyone that doesn't know, I actually own a personal training company. So I run it with my dad. I've stepped away a lot since YouTube, but it's funny because I do that. I know Jack from Jack Spencer Investing used to be a personal trainer, and then Mike from the Stock Pod also did personal training. I think Jason Poland, another finance guy, might have done it too. I think he worked at the same gym as Mike, but we've all been in that space. A good way to stay disciplined. I don't know. I probably just make it a habit to try to exercise every day. I mean, I've been exercising less because I've been doing so much on YouTube, but I still work out 3 or 4 times a week, just because I like it. Find something that you like doing though. Like if you need to go with a buddy or something. Yo, PSTH, is PSTH moving today? Finally, let's see. Yeah, up 3%. I like it. I mean, I've talked about it before. It's the world's largest SPAC in terms of how much money they've raised. By the way, guys, IPOE is dropping a little bit. It's down. Let's see. From its highs, it went up to 2150. It's down about 13% since then. It's at 1860, so still up a good amount. I think people are probably just like, oh, I just made 30% in a minute. Let's sell off. So, in case you are looking at buying, now it's getting a little bit interesting. One more question, Sean. Thank you for the donation. Okay, your question. I got an Argo blockchain at 650 or 65 cents. It's going off every day. Can you do a video on it? Have you heard about it? Cheers. So I've heard about Argo. Thing is, I don't remember what it is. So you got in. It's at $1.82 now. You got in at 65 cents. So you're up almost 200% on it. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure why it's up so much. It's a publicly traded blockchain technology company focused on large-scale cryptocurrency mining. So it's a mining company. Yeah. Okay. So they mined 96 Bitcoin in December. It says. Now that's what. Alexa, what's 96 times 40,000? 3.84 million in January. That's 3.84 times 12. That's what 48, give or take, 45 million. Let's see. Argo stock. Okay, let's see what the market cap is. I don't know how expensive it is to mine it. Like I don't know what profit they make on it, just because I know with CLSK they said that they're profitable if they mine anything for that's or that they mine when Bitcoin is above 6,000. So the fact that it's at 40,000, it's probably pretty profitable. They're sitting at 1.6 billion now. They're probably mining what that would be a 30 price to sales ratio, I think, a little bit higher than that, or 30 to 40. That's pretty expensive, but this one does pay a dividend. Holy cow. Oh no, I'm okay. I'm looking at a whole different one. Argo stock instead of Argo blockchain. Let's see. Okay. Argo blockchain market cap. Sorry guys. Caught up in this one now. Okay, so I can't see the market cap, but I guess it depends. It might be time to take profit if you want, but Bitcoin has just been going insane, and that's been bringing up all the other companies, I think. Sorry, guys, got a little distracted on that one. PDAC and BTAQ, do you have any thoughts on those facts? No, I haven't seen those ones, actually. I haven't looked into them. What should you invest in now, Matt? I think that's based on you, man. I can't give financial advice, but if you want to check out the channel, if you want to subscribe to the channel, I'll tell you what I buy. Neo to 500, you think? Finance bull? Maybe. I don't think it will go that high that quickly, but who knows? Do I teach? No, I don't. Oh, well, if you're talking about like the finance or the fitness classes, yeah, I did like group trainings because I own the company with my dad actually, so we go into different schools and work. Oh, Denside used to be a personal trainer too. Nice. Yeah, he looks like it. He looks jacked. Plug is going insane. That's one where it's so hard talking on YouTube about stocks because I talk about a lot of stocks and I can't invest in all of them. I invest in a good number of stocks, too many. Thing is, I talked about Plug when it was $5. Now it's like $45. I didn't buy into the stock. So I know it's kind of crazy because I see all these stocks that go up so much that I've talked about, and sometimes I miss out on them. Have I seen ISR? No, I have not. MCAC update, please. Yeah, so I think it pushed up. I don't know if I want to say this. I think it pushed up because of my video, honestly, because I don't know any other news that came out. A ton of people watched the video, and then it went up 10% that day after it hadn't moved for a long time. I'm still holding it. I didn't sell it or anything like that because the downside is still limited. But I think they're getting closer to a vote date, if I remember right, towards the end of the month. Do I own Beyond? No, I don't, actually. I own Tattooed Chef, though. SBE, yeah, SBE is blowing up. That's why I never sell SBE. People say, is it too high? Yeah, it's probably too high, but it stays high. So, wait, buy SBE 30? So did it fall or something? Because earlier today it was up a lot. Let's see. I don't think it probably fell. No, switchback's at like 40 now. Yeah, so like it falls down to 30. I haven't been adding just because it's been such a I've got a good position in it. So I don't buy on the dips really. I did for a while, but now I just have been holding out a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of my thought on it. It's one to hold because you never know when it's going to jump back up like 10%. Teladoc is also up 10%. So that's one to stay on the lookout for too. I bought Teladoc a while ago. I've done videos on it, but I haven't talked about it recently. And it's up 10% today. I think I bought in at $1.80 and now, or 180. Now it's up to 220. Kind of a longer term play for me though. Did I cover check stock already? Yeah, I talked about it just for a second. I sold it a little while ago, so I do update the Patreon on that. But I sold yesterday just because I had a couple penny stocks that I was really keeping an eye on. I just have too many penny stocks. I took my nice little 25% profit and was out. It went up a lot more than that, and I could have sold out earlier, but you live and learn, I guess. What happens when a stock is delisted? So I haven't really looked into that too much before. Uh, I don't know if Alibaba will be delisted. I mean, that's still kind of what people are discussing. But the thing is, I think people are still buying Alibaba, even though there's a chance that these stocks could be delisted because they're down. So people are weighing the risk reward of it. Hey, Sam, Quince here. Nice to meet you, Quince. I do not own Very Good Food Company. I own Tattooed Chef, though. What do I think about Riot and Mara? So a lot of people have been talking to me about them, but there are just so many stocks that I get thrown my way. I haven't looked at them yet, but I believe they're Bitcoin mining, and you can correct me on that. But if I remember right, they're Bitcoin mining. The thing that I like about CLSK, and I do need to check out those other companies because I've heard that they're a little bit cheaper. The thing that I like about CLSK is that they're diversified. So if Bitcoin goes down to 20K or 15K, they're already making a lot of their money in a different segment of their business. So that's why I like it. It's a play on both. Did I see DDD today? No, I haven't. Fubo short term. I'm holding it. So GGG investor. I know we sent a couple emails. It looks like I can see it here, so that's good. Fubo short term. Hard to tell, but I still hold my shares. Do I own Planet 13? I do. I bought in when it was like 170, and then I bought all the way up to 4, and then I haven't been buying since then. Workhorse, yep. Workhorse is up nicely today, I think. What do I think about Beyond? I think it's the market leader, but it's more expensive than Tattooed Chef. What's another new SPAC I recommend? So I tell you guys about pretty much all the SPACs I'm interested in on the channel, but I haven't seen a new one recently. I mean, at least since like, I don't know, it could be like 3 days ago, and I might not even remember a spec that I talked about just because I talk about so many different companies. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but we'll see. Someone's saying Bitcoin going to 50K. Yeah, maybe. Let's see what's Bitcoin at now. Someone said that they had a pullback. Yeah, I mean a little bit, like a $700 pullback. It's still above 39K. It was at 40K, past 40K. BNGO, what do I think? I actually covered that a little bit earlier, so you can scroll back in the video if you want or rewatch it. I did a video just last night on it. Any specs with merger dates this week? I don't know. I'm sure that there are. I just don't know which ones they are. Looking at a very good food company. I've looked into it already. Just from a price to sales ratio, I don't think it's as good as Tattooed Chef. DDD was up 91%. Nice. Any news on the Playboy stock MCAC update? So I talked about this one earlier too. I think it jumped up because of some attention that was brought to it, and then it sold off because people saw it going up. But I think they have a vote later this month, so I'm just holding on still. Limited downside before they merge. What's my biggest holding currently? That's a good question. There's been so much volatility. Let me see. I have a decent idea, but I just added a bunch of money to one of my accounts for like tax purposes. So Tesla's up there because I'm up 387% in it. What else? I'm sure SBE is up there along with Disney. Disney's probably right up there too. So those are up there. Also Facebook. Some of those are because I put a lot of money into it. Some of it's because they went up so much. IPOE profit taking, yeah, probably. People saw it go up so much. Yeah, so it's down to 18. I mean, if you were FOMOing earlier and you want to buy in, I can't give financial advice, but it's down to 18. So I liked it at 15. I felt like it's a good value. I feel like it's a decent value at 18 if you're looking long term. What else? All right. So I think so anyone that's curious, I talked about Clean Spark earlier, if you want to go back, or my thoughts on check. I talked about that earlier too. VGAZ talked about that too. Any prediction on Boeing? I don't know. It's tough because not a lot of companies need new planes when they're not having big numbers. Okay, so I think we're probably going to wrap this up. A lot of these stocks I talked about earlier. Almost everyone that we're talking about here. MP I didn't talk about earlier, but I'm holding it long term. Still like it. Yeah, so thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys watching. If you want to see my video about IPOE, I went into it a little bit earlier. That, of course, was before it was officially announced. So there have been some updates. Some of it's, I think it's really worth watching still because it's still my thoughts on the company. But some of the numbers have been updated, and we talked about it earlier here. What's the worst stock I invested in? Probably, I don't know. And last time I checked and last time I made a video, I didn't have any that were down because I invested so much during the pandemic. But definitely thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to see that video on IPOE, I really appreciate it. Again, I did this live stream right after I did the video on IPOE, so I think it's probably going to hurt the video a little bit, but I wanted to give you guys this update because I think it's really important. Thank you for hitting the like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.